Howdy guys, it's Luke at Luke's APS, and in this video I'm going to show you how we built a wargaming table in just one day, so one sitting straight through. See you after this. Yes guys, for those that don't know, I went to a wargaming event this weekend called the Tabletop Legacy Weekender at Element Games in Stockport. I got asked to come along and asked if I could do just some sort of like terrain chat or just something like that. I said, let's take it one step further. Let me build a wargaming table in a day. And they were like, that's amazing. We're going to do it themed on Lord of the Rings from a scene that I've not even seen. And yeah, give it a good crack. For those that don't know, I've been building terrain over the last 3 years now on YouTube. And when I started out 3 years ago in building terrain, what really annoyed me most was the drying times, was the downtime in between each step. A lot of steps in wargaming terrain is you'll do a step, it might take you 10-15 minutes, but then you've got to wait absolutely hours before you can progress to the next step. So the whole point behind the Luke's APS SCENIC system and products is to eliminate the drying times, is so you can work through, or the longest you'll have to wait is about half an hour before you can progress. So you can sit down and do a project and finish it in the day that you do. Most hobbyists don't have the time to spend a week building something. I don't. I was doing it as a business, so time's money. I have to get things done when I start them, or as quick as possible. So it was a way to show off my range of scenics and show that my system actually works. So I thought, you know what, let's record it, let's time-lapse it, let's vlog it, let's take you through the ups and downs of building a wargame table in a day. So I hope you enjoy this video, guys. It's a bit rough, it's not as top-notch as what some of the other stuff is, it's a bit static cameras and everything else, but I hope you can see the progression and the speed and everything along the way. So, and it is true, there's no camera trickery and everything else. If you just ask the God knows how many people that were there, they will all tell you that we did build it in a day, with a little bit of help. Alright guys, see you at the end. How do guys? Right, I'm at Element Games and I'm going to be building a board in a day. So let's show you what I've done so far. So, as you can see, we've got the board built that were thrown together for me this morning. I was going to do it, but I'm slightly hungover. But as you can see, we've got a nice lightweight baseboard, built up a 3mm, 6mm MDF even, with a 25mm edge all the way around, and then the supports for struts. We're going to drop some foam in between that. So yes, I'm very hungover, and because yesterday was quite a good day. I think we all had a bit too much to drink, didn't we, mate? He's just nodding. So yeah, let's get the board build on. I'll try and time-lapse it, but I'll try and get all the footage in, and every now and again I'll do a little vlog at where I'm up to. So, catch you in a bit. Love, love, love. Off just using super cheap polystyrene, and we're going to cut that to fit in between the battens to make this table as light as possible. We're using a razor saw just to keep the mess down. But the first tool that I'd forgot was a straight edge, and then we got a small one when it didn't really help, so we just cut it to a rough fit. Mic's definitely on. Right, so we've got the baseboard foam down, and now we're going to get onto gluing it. I'll just quickly show you around, and then we'll crack on. Right, so as you can see, got it down. Slight little problem at the minute, as in because it's not, the foam's slightly bigger than the beams, but it's not an issue because we're going to put a layer of foam on top. We've gone with blue foam in the middle, so we can actually sculpt some like cobbles and everything into it, because using my compound isn't the best thing to properly sculpt high detail into. So we're going to do it on blue foam. It's the only difference. But that's down. We're going to glue it down now with some gator glue, and then we're going to crack on. We're sticking it down. The reason that, again, for speed we use gator glue is because it's a polyurethane based glue that you activate with water, and this thing grabs the foam and dries in around 20 minutes. If you've not used it before, I would suggest giving it a go, just because of the pure speed of its drying time, and you can still cut it with a foam cutter if you choose to. When we did that, we just planned the landform out in a very rough fashion. We used some cocktail sticks, which we forgot, so we had to go out and get some. And then we just started to glue it in place and stick in the cocktail sticks. Right guys, so now I'll switch my phone on, I'll do it again. We've now got all the foam down, but what we're going to have to do is we're now going to have to set it afire, literally fire on foam. Now if I was at home, I'd do that upstairs, obviously, but we're in quite a big shop, as you can tell, that will have fire eggs. And because of these fire eggs, they haven't got smoke sensors, they've got smoke sensors, not heat sensors. So I can't do this in here because they've got a sprinkler system. So we're going to have to take it outside and literally set it afire. I'm all giddy. Fire burns. But anyway, I'll show you the board, how rough and crap it looks now. Then we're going to go set it afire. Catch you in a bit. So yeah, that's where we're at. As you can see, my Peroni. As you can see, all the forms are more or less laid out. We're going to have quite a hilly sort of tundra setting, and the reason we've got the blue foam in the middle, as I've said, we're going to put like a stone texture on there where the building's going to be going, and we're going to do a path into some woods. So we'll let this glue dry and then we'll get cracking. See you in a bit. Right, then next up we're just hot gluing the rock moulds onto the burnt landform. This is a really easy step. Best thing about burning your landform and everything else, it tells you, you're literally putting them where you have to, not where you want to, which is good, which helps make it look more natural, and it makes you put things in places that you wouldn't usually put things. It makes it look a bit less handmade. Using the modelling compound then to fit and blend all the rocks and everything in, also creating a nice landform, and it dries super quick, so you can move on to the next step within 10-15 minutes of applying it. Right guys, so this is what we've got at the minute. We've got a sandwich tubbing way, and so we've got like a couple of rocks all the way around, bit of a hill. We've got a nice house from The Hobbit that Steve from Top Table Wargaming's built for us, and I'm just going to sculpt a floor, like a hard stone floor that he's going to sit on. So some nice foundations. As you can see, you get the theme of the film right in. We've got a forest down here. Obviously there's no trees there yet. I'll make them tonight when I've had a few beers. So you can get a nice understanding of how this board's going to look. What are you mixing up there, Dave?
This is modelling compound.
Yeah, modelling compound by Luke's APS. Yeah. Yeah, there you go. Get it now. And we've put a wooden border on, like that. Look, so it's nice and firm, and none of that foam's going to get damaged. Again, Steve from Top Table Wargaming. Look, because he's a nice chippy type of guy. Look, he's even wearing a lumberjack shirt. Yeah. And if anybody's got some nice tools laying around, yeah, give them back. He had a load of tools nicked. So if there's a cheap steel saw going, it probably is. We've just got to fill the edges now with some compound, and then we're on to painting and decorating. And it is me working on this board, honest. And then obviously it's just, once that's had a couple of minutes just to firm up, it will be a bit moist for the compound, but it doesn't matter. You can just get the paint on and carry on working through. So once you've got the colours down, it's just a matter of throwing all the rock washers on. What we do is we use a very similar brown to the earth colour, obviously to bring in the natural look of the earth. Then we use like an ochre sand colour. And then once that's dry, we chuck over a black wash over all the rock, and then we give it a very faint dry brush in the end once it's actually fully dried, but I'll show you that later on. What we're doing here is just applying some of my arid earth base ready mix, and then for speed we're applying this with super glue, using the thin super glue that we sell on the Geek Gaming store, and then coming in with the activator from a distance so it doesn't white. And then we come in with just a very light grey, it's sort of enlighten it slightly with ivory, dry brush over the rock faces, and sometimes onto the stones. If you catch that a little bit with this dry brush, it helps the stones sort of blend in with the colours that we've painted the rocks as well, so it all ties together, and that's how you get the blend from unpainted rocks to painted ones. So as you can see, that's what it's looking like now. There's no point texturing the floor because it's going to be like a tundra setting, so we'll just go straight over with the flocks and everything. So once I've showed you around, we'll get to flocking. Flockety flock flock flock. Right, so flocking, we threw on some coarse mid-green, which is a 2-in-1. Just put your hand in the bag, throw it on as coarse, and then to get the covering over the top of that, we then sieve it out. And what that gives you is that sort of nice rugged grasslands. And then I throw in some dark greens, and as you can see, as I'm sieving it all over, it sort of starts to give you that grassy texture just from one flock. And then when you come in with the dark greens and the yellows and the browns, you can really richen this flock up. So it looks like that, and then all I'll do is seal it in place with some PVA glue. We put a path in, and just to break up the green, and it's more or less done. Apart from the trees, which, yeah, I'd spend another couple of hours working on trees. I was getting a bit excited at this point. I thought I'd finished. Right, guys. So we 12 hours in. 12 hours in. And we've just started trees. We're going to make 12 of these buggers. Only very basically though, we're going to be using rubberised horsehair and some hairspray, some flock, and then we're going to seal them. I'm not going to go heads over tails, but I think 12 trees and a board in a day to a good standard is more than acceptable. But anyway guys, I'll get these trees done, I'll show you how far we get. If we're still awake, the beer's been a bit strong as well, but if we're still awake, we might get it all done. Alright guys, see you in a bit. Right guys, so it's the morning after. We're all done. I've not touched it, we just tied it up, and we did achieve it in one day. One day being, what were it, 14 hours. We did it in 14 hours. But we've completed it. Working away from home and out of your studio is like the worst mistake ever, because there's a load of things you didn't have, stupid things like cocktail sticks, and just, yeah. But we'll talk about that end when I wrap it up, because I'm fucking knackered. That's the best way of putting it. I'll show you the board, and I'll get some footage and pictures, and then I'll wrap this up when I get home, and I'll upload this on Tuesday. Don't know why I'm telling you that, because you'll see it on Tuesday, but I'll upload it on Tuesday. See you in a bit. Right, so we won't start none of these trees, because we won't talk about them trees, because them trees have been made. We made like loads of them in a couple of hours, and they're horrendous. But anyway, let's have a look from round here. So we've got all the nice landforming and cliff face. This is the burnt farm from The Hobbit. And the reason we've gone for this position is because in the scene that we took the picture, well, the still shot of, you had the building and the rock face in the background, which looks rather nice. And then they go to a forest or something, do they?
Yeah.
I've watched the film, obviously.
They go to the forest to get the trolls.
Yeah, they go to the forest to get the trolls, which I'll show you from here because them trees look okay from here. We won't get any closer. But yeah, so 14 hours start to finish, and that's what it looks like. Still a bit pale because it's still drying because it was very cold in here last night. But overall, very happy, and I'll give you a close-up of the trees so you can see how terrible they are. Yeah, all it is Woodland SCENIC's armatures with rubberised horsehair on, and then sprinkled with coarse foam and highlighted with some fine. But yeah, cheers for watching, guys, and I'll see you again in a bit. So guys, yeah, that's it. I was very happy with that board. I was very tired. I was quite drunk at the end of it as well. But we got it done. 14 hours, a heck of a long day. Took me really out of my comfort zone. Not being at home was the biggest mistake about that project, because there were just loads of little bits of tools that I normally use that I didn't have. There was bits that I was running low on that I thought I'd not estimated right, and then I was like, oh, I'll have to make do with this, or I've made things stretch them out a bit further. It made me think on my feet, which is also good. I learned quite a lot doing that, working away from home. If I was to do it again, I know what I'm doing now. I've learned a lot in the process, which for me is great. Doing things in my regimented way now, because I'm very fixed in how I do things because it works and it's quick. I still learn a lot doing that. So yeah, it was good. It was good fun, and a lot of people seem to enjoy it, and people really like to see the flocking stage, which for me is the bit that I'm happy at that point because it's the home stretch. The bit that I really enjoy is a modelling compound, because you can really put all the effort in, because that's what makes the flocks look good. Getting your ground form as realistic as possible, so when you put your flocks on top, it just makes them come alive because the prep work's done. Like in decorating, you do a good plastering job, your painter and decorator will get all the praise. And that's the same with this. You do all the plastering work, you make that look good, and then you chuck some flocks on it, and then everybody thinks, wow, that's amazing, but the work was already technically there, if that makes sense. But anyway, guys, let me know what you think below. If you do want to support the channel, do check out my store. All the products used in this video are in the store. Anything that I haven't, that I don't have for sale, but you can get it through my Amazon affiliates. I don't do Patreon, guys. I don't ask for donations. I don't ask for hand-me-outs or you to buy me anything. But if you want to support me and there's nothing that you want to get at all from me, you could just do your shopping through Amazon affiliates. Just buy what you want, what you'd normally get. If you're buying your kids some jammers, you could go through that, and I just get a cut for that. It doesn't affect your pocket. It just means you're supporting me, and it's for no extra cost to you. All right? So there's always that. If you want to support, there's t-shirts, there's everything else on Teespring. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I'll put the guys' subscribe buttons up at the end of this video. So give Andy Burgess and Stephen a sub if you could. That'd be great. And I'm sure we'll be doing this again because I enjoyed it, and I can't wait to do it again, to be fair. Maybe not a city board, but I'd like to do something a bit bigger next time. But we'll talk about that closer to the time. I'll see you again. Love, love, love.